Hey everyone, it's Timmy Falcon, and I'm back with another episode of, well, this first, well, I say first. Um, it's another Amarriner Cup episode, I guess, because Amarriner Cup 2 was announced for, I guess, August. So it's the tournament for August, and yeah, it's it's a thing. Um, It's basically just a mixed base. So there was an old mixed base open tournament run by this guy. I'm not gonna try to pronounce a random fucking jumble of letters, but anyways, yeah, it's just a bunch of mixed base maps. Kind of cool. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Well, actually, I'll go over the map really quickly. So this is Muscular Vendetta. It's the first map on. Well, it's the first round here. So the fun things about this map are you have a lot of airports. You got a lot of mountains as well. So that sort of makes it like prime territory for um, artillery and battle cuppers, especially, to be able to shine here. There's a bunch of rivers and stuff, so it is actually kind of interesting as far as units diversity goes, because battle cuppers are very useful on this on this map. Even though you're not necessarily going to want to spam them, it's still like they're still pretty good because there's a lot of mountains. It's sort of difficult to get the anti-air to chase them, especially with these forest areas as well. It's kind of hard to chase through the forests with your anti-air against battle cuppers. So it is pretty important to get at least, well, to get year 2 airports, because this is uh, the player 1 airports. Basically, this is the player 2 airports that are pretty close. They're pretty high priority. These comm towers are also both like pretty much equidistant from these two bases here, so they are also a very important thing to try and go for. Conceivably, you can contest both of them if you want, depending on how many resources you want to push into pour. Pour is the word I'm looking for. Pour into grabbing these comm towers. And I believe for this first round, yeah, it's tier 3. So having 2 comm towers is pretty good on in tier 3, because it does allow you to get that wall breaking advantage that you might normally not be able to get, which makes your battle copters really good. It makes your tanks really good. That's kind of it. As you can see here from the map analysis, though, basically just Kindle. And then some Lash people. I feel like Lash has been doing okay, but like it's a tier 3 Kindle match, but more or less. Like which slot you play in apparently doesn't seem to matter, although I think there might be a bit of a second turn advantage, seeing as they have 2 infantry to start out with. Even though they are sort of, well, this one's kind of further back than from the base, I guess. But this guy's like right in here, able to get out to this comm tower area pretty quickly. All of these properties as well, pretty quickly. And on mixed base especially, unit count is kind of king. So there is that to worry about as well. Oh, also these pipe seams are kind of interesting, because if you get an artillery in here, especially with like the Kindle firepower boost, you can put the Kindle your artillery onto this city. Take out this spot, this pipe seam in 2 blasts, then move your artillery into this spot, and then you can get a pretty good coverage from this tile. So you can basically wall out anyone who tries to come your way, especially considering like 2 out of these 4, so half of tiles that you could potentially attack the artillery from are just pipes, so you can't even access them with like your battlecopters or whatever. One of them is a mountain, so you can't attack it, access it with tanks or whatever. And yeah, this is a very, very choke point heavy map, especially in the corners. But even to an extent in these areas with all these forests, because it is kind of tough to get the tanks out of those areas. With all that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started with the replay now. So, yeah, just starting out with building infantry here right out of the bat, out of the gate, basically. As you can see here, my opponent, player 2, has an extra 2 units over me, which it may not seem like that much, and it shouldn't really be that much of a big deal. But you can sort of see where stuff starts to snowball a little bit. So from this base, I'm going sort of heavy into the south area here, because it is going to be pretty vital for me to be able to just start getting income here. Like, there's a lot of chains that you can get here. There's the comm tower as well that you need to worry about. So sending your infantry south is sort of what I was going for. What I forgot to do was grab this airport, though, which may or may not come back to bite me later on. I mean, as you can see here, from this base, it's actually pretty quick to get to this airport. It's 3 turns only, so you can get to up to here pretty quickly with your extra infantry. Which, again, part of why this early game is sort of a bit annoying for me is because there's a lot of infantry on the field that I have to deal with. Now, it's not like too much, and I have the first turn advantage, obviously, so obviously a bit different, but anyways. So I go for the recon here to make sure that this guy can't really take the airport for free, so he counters with a tank, and yeah. Because we're both playing Kindle, you can't really attack into caps that well. It's kind of a bad move to do so, unless you're attacking from maybe the forest like this. I mean, from the mountains, because that gives you enough defense to be able to deal with the Kindle firepower. But other than that, like, it's pretty much an even trade from anywhere else, because Kindle's firepower on cities is so freaking good. It's 40%, so that's solid and everything. I'm obviously pouring infantry into this area here, even though these properties are kind of just for your opponent. You can't really afford necessarily to just send any unit count, like send your units to die in this area, which it might come to bite me in the ass later as well, me pushing so heavily into this area, but we'll see. Because it is pretty close, like it's right next to their base. I shouldn't have. This is kind of overextending at this point, even. So yeah, I'm able to easily just cap there because like we're not going to be able to interrupt that comm tower down there at all. They just stalled a little bit with their infantry there, but honestly, I feel like that isn't even the move. I think you just go for V cap there. I've got the one comm tower. I'm going to get a second one in a second here, and that's where my strengths are for the time being. Is I have 20% extra firepower on the board. Things are looking pretty good. I've got a mech here to ward away his tank. As you can see here, down to 3, so I'm still able to capture here. But like already you can see like my opponent's 4 ahead in unit count, which is kind of insane. We built a battlecopter as well here, which is going to be super annoying because I don't have any airports yet to build a battlecopter of my own to chase after it. So that's going to be an issue. Like, I don't even have this airport locked down yet, which is also pretty bad. I go for the attack there, which, like, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't the best move because, like, they're gonna be able to just finish me off with their infantry anyways. And moving into this city as well is pretty aggressive on my part. But yeah, as you can see here, I've got the recon plus mech here. They were actually in range to capture here, but maneuvering like this is able to ward this away because you can't kill with the tank here, and then you would take a massive first strike from my mech next turn. So you can't you can't really do that. Takes out my infantry there. Yeah, as you can see, already ahead like 6 in the unit count, which is insane. Partially due to me just throwing away units or sending them into meat grinder up here or whatever, but still. Did it break? Okay. Anyways. There we go. That's more so what I wanted. Anyways, my opponent's pivoting their battlecopter away from this anti-air, which the anti-air can't chase it all through this forest, for one. And for two, they're actually going to be meeting up with their tanks to start threatening this one base with battlecopter plus tanks, which is really good for them as well because you need a lot of unit diversity in order to take care of all of this. And I don't have any airports really, except for this guy over here. And I mean, a neo tank or a medium tank would probably be able to be fine up here, maybe, but I don't really have the income in order to afford that all that well quite yet either. I haven't had an income for the time being, but like next turn, I'm going to be able to. My opponent's going to be able to move in. So as you can see here, there's the Kindle artillery from the city, doing a phenomenal amount of damage here. Yeah, it's basically a guaranteed kill no matter what. I'm not sure why. Well, here's why. Right? So I built the artillery here and I moved in here basically to try and stall him out over here for a little bit, so that he couldn't move his artillery into threatening these properties. But honestly, I don't know why I went for the artillery here, because I should have gone for either an anti-air to get rid of the battlecopter and also sort of ward away the infantry a little bit plus the artillery, or just a tank to deal with the tanks that are sort of swarming in at this point. So yeah, he's going to be able to move in here, basically wipe out the rest of my units that came from this base, because I poured so many into this area early on, which was a really bad move on my part, honestly. Because, yeah, it's like a turn from the base here, even though we're pretty close, but yeah, from getting the mountains as well is not ideal for me here. He's able to start pushing in this way with the artillery plus the tank, which is pretty good. He's got some tanks to sort of ward away my tanks that were coming out of this base here. Honestly, I don't know if the tanks are the best idea here from this base specifically. I feel like an artillery would probably be a little bit better overall. But especially considering how choke pointy this area is. But anyways, I go for the aggressive artillery on this side, which is probably just going to get taken down by the battlecopter and everything over here. I do get some shots off over here, I guess. Yeah, and then I just move in here like this. Okay, so, and then I build a neo tank here as well, just to sort of counter the battlecopter plus the tanks and everything here. So they take out my infantry, start capping there. My neo tank's not really able to do much. They're not even attacking here because they don't really need to worry about it. Oh, that's what they had the infantry up here. Because I thought I'd walled this off properly, and I was sort of surprised I got the got first strike there. But in hindsight, it's pretty obvious that you're able to do that pretty easily. So that plus we're going to build a tank here as well, so I've completely lost in this area at this point as well. She gets a good strike off here with her tank from the city, and she's going to be able to push through this area as well with the artillery as well. So as you can see here, down 10 in unit count. That's not exactly great. I'm able to take a couple of kills here at least, but at the end of the day, it is kind of inevitable that I'm gonna end up, because I'm just so far down in just the unit count at this point. Like I managed to make the gap only like 2 units at that point, but like most of my units here are weakened, so my opponent's going to be able to get a massive push this turn as well. As you can see, just popping Urban Blight. Almost able to take out the recon there. Too, like, to be fair, like, Kindle recon from a city into another recon is actually pretty good. It's nothing to like sneeze at or anything, so. Yeah, and Maisie's just going to push in with the artillery as quickly as possible to sort of try and zone out the Neo tank there. And he's going to start capping this. He's going to flip it in a little bit as well. Yeah, and like with the power from Urban Blight, I still can't really attack into the cities. Excuse me, effectively, because like I'll take a massive counter attack damage here. So I just go ahead and resign there. Looking back at here, I will say that I didn't prioritize. Like I didn't realize how badly just even a couple of infantry encounters would flip the unit count and make space like this. Because like I went in here, sort of a mistake maybe. But I kept on fighting here for a while. I get the join cap there. So at the end of the day here, like 4 unit counts plus because of the battlecopter build. That helped out my opponent's unit count a lot just by building that battlecopter there. And then I also just didn't have the tank ready to fight off a recon there in time. I think the recon plus mech play was pretty good over here, but then I just didn't end up being able to get the airport captured, so I was never able to really do anything with battlecopter zoning or anything. So that allowed my opponent to just have free reign with their 1 battlecopter. It sort of forced me to build an anti-air, which didn't really do much because it was stuck from this forest over here. And yeah, there was a couple of turns in which I had like a good amount of unit count and all, but like especially after my opponent's push of this turn, like it wasn't even necessarily that like look at this, a lot of this stuff here, I just left myself open in a lot of spots where I really shouldn't have let myself be open in those spots. So, yeah, the artillery from this base, well, the artillery in the corners is really, really good because even if you're pushing, you're going to be able to zone out these couple of tiles where your opponent's going to be able to have vehicles, or when you're defending, you're going to be able to just zone out these couple of tiles where your opponent's going to be able to have vehicles. So either way, artillery is really good in the corners here. Battlecopters are way better than I expected they would be because last time I played, I think it was the first Amarriner Cup. It was the same sort of scenario with a mixed base map. But the difference was that it was a lot more spread out. The airports were in a really exposed position as well, so your opponent you could easily just counter the battlecopters with the anti-air. So I sort of, for whatever reason, I was sort of expecting that on this map. Where that wasn't anything at all that was gonna happen. I still feel like overall that player 2 does have a bit of a second turn advantage because they start out with well, 2 extra units is pretty huge in mixed base. Especially considering the fact that one of them was like in the middle of all of this area, so you could basically go wherever you wanted with them. That being said, my opponent is Forgot to Shoot, who is very good. As is Mr. Cannon, yes. Well, actually, maybe not as much, but the only reason I'm noticing Mr. Cannon is because they're like fighting now. Well, actually, I'm assuming he has a decently high, if not right now, yeah, 64. That's not bad. Anyways, got off topic there a bit. So, yep, that's my one Amarriner Cup 2 video. I don't know. I think I went into this again, like usual. I think what happened was I went into this without the best idea of what was going to happen on the map, and then just yeah, kind of got demolished because I think it was mainly because I didn't go over the airport early enough was the main issue here. Oh, and I also overextended over here, I think, at least a little bit. So anyways, let's actually take a look at the other maps like I usually do, because that's always fun. So round 2, come on, there we go, would be on Darkest Hour. It would be it's tier 1 even. And this is actually an interesting little map. I feel like I like this one a lot more. Not only because it's smaller, so I could this is something that actually I can do decent replay commentary on, because you can actually see the entire screen. But also because you have this missiles here with the airport in range, which I always think is fun and interesting and stuff. These two cities, honestly, well, there are the shoals here, which I don't even know what we're doing here because there aren't any black boats or anything. So I guess it's just for effect, just aesthetics and stuff. This is a pretty map. I like it. Let's see. So round 3 would be Naranja. Okay. This also looks pretty cool. You have the cruiser. The auto cruisers there is interesting. Especially considering you have the airports here, plus the mech isolated on the island here to sort of make it so you can't just walk up and take away the comm tower. Like, even if you had an artillery that you brought up this way, they'd be able to just walk down one. So you sort of would need to either get your battlecopters up this way, or so that would be sending your battlecopters past these airports, or you would need to have like a battleship or something from this harbor, which is also pretty exposed to the airports here in battlecopter spam. So I think this is an interesting little map as well. Base light too. Base light mixed base. I like that. That's cool. Even though I'm sort of expecting it to be more like a battlecopter city. What's the? That looks like it's tier 2. Oh, so that's gonna be a max. A max just festival, or maybe honestly, Eagle wouldn't be that bad either, because it's a pretty small map. And battlecopters will be imported on it. Chained Melody looks like it's tier 2 as well. This one's a meh. I don't really like the look of it. You have the 2 bases here, plus 1 base. Okay. So what I'm sort of expecting to see here is this base plus airport, these two bases, you're going to basically have both sides collide on on the single base, take out the single base, and then push towards the HQs probably. No comm towers, though. I like that. That's interesting. But especially in like tier 2, that means Max wins that for sure. That's just a no-brain Max pick there. And then Darkling Threshold is pretty famous. I've seen it before, actually. Yes, I really like this map as well. It's nice and compact, but there's a lot of stuff going on it because you have artillery plays for these guys from across the rivers. You've got the airport here, which you can sort of pretty easily thread in with like a single anti-air that you just send north, basically, even though it's pretty close to this other base as well. This is a pretty cool map as well. I've seen it before. Darkling Threshold is pretty cool. All right, anyways, that should be about it for today. That's it. Next month, hope that I'll be able to get past round 1. Maybe I'll actually prepare for it next time, like properly, but oh well. Yeah, props to my opponent. He played really well. And other than that, that's about it for today. So if you enjoyed, please go ahead and like and subscribe and all that other nonsense. And I will see you guys in the next one.